Welcome, friends. Today we're exploring something we all desire, a life of meaning, purpose, and abundance. Not abundance measured in possessions, but in the richness of our experiences and the depth of our gratitude. Jesus once said, "I came that they may have life and have it abundantly." But what does that mean for us today? How do we embrace this abundant life in a world that often leaves us feeling empty and distracted? Let's explore Jesus' timeless wisdom on living life to its fullest. Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? These words from Matthew remind us of one of Jesus' most radical teachings, to live in the present moment. So much of our lives are consumed by worrying about tomorrow. We sacrifice today's joy for tomorrow's security. But Jesus taught that this anxiety robs us of the gift of now. This doesn't mean being irresponsible. Rather, it's an invitation to trust, to release our white-knuckled grip on controlling the future, and to experience the freedom of living fully present. When was the last time you truly noticed the world around you? The feeling of the breeze, the sound of laughter, the taste of your food? The abundant life begins with being present. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Jesus consistently turned our understanding of greatness upside down. In a world that celebrates those who accumulate the most, Jesus celebrated those who gave the most. The paradox Jesus taught is that we find our purpose not in being served, but in serving. When we orient our lives around giving rather than getting, something profound happens. We discover who we truly are. Think about the moments in your life when you've felt most alive, most fulfilled. Weren't they often moments when you were giving of yourself to others? When you were using your unique gifts to make someone else's life better? This is the abundant life Jesus spoke of, not one of self-indulgence, but self-giving. Remember the story of Jesus feeding the 5,000? Before performing this miracle, he did something seemingly small, but profound. The Gospel tells us, taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks. Even Jesus practiced gratitude. Before abundance came thankfulness. Gratitude isn't just a feeling that comes when things go well. It's a practice, a way of seeing the world. Jesus showed us that thankfulness can precede the miracle. When we cultivate gratitude, we train our eyes to see abundance where others see scarcity. We notice the gifts that surround us every day. A simple practice of writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day can literally rewire your brain to notice more goodness in your life. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. Jesus consistently warned against the pursuit of possessions. Not because material things are inherently bad, but because they so easily consume our attention and affection. Many of us are suffocating under the weight of our stuff, our commitments, our digital distractions. We've confused fullness of schedule with fullness of life. Jesus invites us to simplicity, to discern what truly matters, to create space in our lives for relationships, for rest, for wonder. What might you need to declutter, not just in your home, but in your schedule, your digital life, or even your thought patterns, to create space for what truly matters? You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Jesus saw in his followers something they often couldn't see in themselves: immense worth and potential. He didn't just call them to follow rules, he called them to embrace their true identity as children of God, as salt and light in a world that needs both. So much of our lives are spent trying to become someone else, someone more successful, more attractive, more worthy of love. But Jesus taught that the abundant life comes not from becoming someone new, but from discovering who you already are. You are already loved. You are already enough. Your life already has profound meaning. Jesus' teachings on abundant living weren't abstract concepts. They were invitations to a new way of being, to live present rather than consumed by worry, to find purpose through giving rather than taking, to practice gratitude in all circumstances, to embrace simplicity over consumption, to live from your true identity rather than striving to earn your worth. The abundant life Jesus offers isn't dependent on perfect circumstances. It's available to all of us, right where we are. It begins with a simple choice. Will we follow His way? As you go about your day, I invite you to ask yourself, where am I sacrificing abundance for security? Where can I serve rather than be served? What gifts am I taking for granted? What might I need to simplify? And who has God created me to be? Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, may you live fully, love deeply, and walk gratefully.